Here's part 3 of What's the Difference project, and we're going to be using InDesign. So I know a lot of you have not used InDesign before, and some of the things you can do once you get into InDesign. It usually starts off looking something like this, where you can see the margins and you see anything that's like little document frames are in here and they look like they have an X, and I'm just hitting the button on my keyboard, W, and it shows you this print preview mode, something like this. But you have to be careful if you're in the type tool and you have your cursor inside a type box and you hit W, it's going to type the letter W. So if I want to do that print preview, I can just go to the move tool and just hit W, and I see my print preview thing. Something else you might want to do, since InDesign is a fantastic word processor, you might want to go to Edit, Spelling, and turn on Dynamic Spelling. So if you ever misspell a word, like a lot of people misspell difference, so if you misspell difference, it gives you a little squiggly line on the word difference, and I think I just turned mine off. Nope, it's on. I don't know why it's not showing us the squiggly line underneath difference. Usually it does. So some reason it's not doing that right now. Maybe because I need to have a regular type instead of one that's got effects. Now it looks like that, like if you're in Microsoft Word or something, it does that little squiggly red line. And why it's not doing that up here on this one, I don't know. Maybe because of the text effects on it or something like that. Anyway, let's just start with a brand new document here. I'm going to go ahead and save this InDesign document for now. And before you start anything, what you might want to do is go to File. InDesign, Preferences, Units and Increments. And I'm going to set it to inches, because if you don't, it defaults at picas. Okay, so no document is open, and I just went to InDesign, Preferences, Units and Increments, and set it at inches. So now we'll go to File, New Document. Once you get here, facing pages is fine for this document, but I'm going to choose letter, and we're going to do 4 pages. 4 pages, letter size at 8.5 by 11. The margins at a 1/2 inch is just fine. I'm going to hit OK, and here's our first document. And page 1 will be the cover. We'll have the easy one, and the one that's a little bit more difficult, and then the hardest one on the back for what's the difference. So this looks good at the starting point. Now the first thing you can do on the cover is take the type tool here, click on the margin, and drag all the way across, and type in what's the difference. And I'm going to correct my box here like this, and I'm going to highlight my text. And you may not have your character palette open, so mine is off right now, and I think I'm going to change it to typography. And now I have my character palette and my paragraph palette right over here where I usually use it. I'm going to put my links palette, I'm going to tuck it in underneath here, something like that. So now I'm going to go to my character palette, click on this, and I'll just enlarge the font. Now the one thing it will do, let's see if it does it. It does it. Puts a hyphen right there in the middle of the word difference. I wouldn't like that for a headline, so I'll go to paragraph, uncheck, hyphenate, and then I'm going to center it. I don't like the kerning the way it is on the F. I can fix that. Just kind of separate those, put a little kerning on that. And I'm not going to use this document. I'm going to go ahead and use that one that's already been started. This one right here. So I've already built this page right here, and I'll just show you some things. Just brought this in. I'm going to bring that in here. Let's say that we have a couple of images here. And right now this one has some effects on it, and if you right click on it you can see the effects, and it has a drop shadow. And so I can turn the drop shadow off if I want to. And so this one has a 0 distance, and this size right here, nearly 1/4 of an inch. And then the other effect that it has, which is not really an effect, but it has a stroke on it. And the only thing I don't like about that stroke, it covers up a lot of that fence. And so I'm going to change how thick that stroke is, something like that. So if I have this one at 6, maybe I'm going to change this one to 6 as well. And when I want to bring things in, I want to go File, Place. See the shortcut for that? Command D. Command D, I'm going to go to my Images folder. I'm going to take the bokeh, and I'm going to hit it Open. Wait for a minute here. And then I'm just going to click and drag like that. I don't like how it goes past the page here, so I'm going to just make it go to the edge here. But now it's covering everything up. So just like all the other programs, I can right click on it, go to Arrange, Send to Back, and send that to back. Let's start with a whole brand new page here, and if I want to put some text up here I can. I'll put medium, find the difference, and I can put my text in there just like that, except I've already done it. So I'm just going to bring this one over right here, and since I have green over here, I can keep this kind of a green, except I don't like that drop shadow right now. Oh, that's being mean. It keeps thinking that I want to do the text. I'm going to go to the effects. I'm going to uncheck the drop shadow like that. So now it's kind of a green. So let's bring in these other images here. I'm going to hit Command D, which is Place, or you could go File, Place, and I'm going to go to the girl jumping. Girl jumping, and this one's a bit big. And now I'm going to, what I can do if I want to keep it the same size, I can just duplicate it by Alt click and drag and duplicate, and then I can click on this box, hit Command D, and bring in the second girl jumping in here, and hopefully it did it. It did. And I just noticed those red flowers are really hard to see on this, so we may want to make more red flowers in there, which we'll do. I'm going to hit W so you can preview it. Maybe a little drop shadow would be helpful. Drop shadow, change the distance to 0. I'm going to up the amount. That looks good. I'm going to do it here, up the amount. That looks good. Now what I can do is I can right click in here and say Edit Original. So I'm going to, it says it's been changed since the last time you opened it. I'm going to say Update. Girl Jumping 2. So now I'm going to go to my red flowers layer, go to my stamp, and I'm going to select that as a clone, and I'm going to maybe put some more red flowers here because that's kind of difficult for you to see. This one has the shirt, the tree over there, and now I'm going to close it, hit save, and close this one. Oh, it says, okay, so now it's saved, and we'll go back to InDesign, and it updated here with more flowers. So, and this one, we're going to make this one This one's the easy, this one's the medium. And hopefully you remember to do the spelling. I'm going to check the spelling here by hitting W. And dynamic spelling is not working for some reason when it's in color or something. I don't know. I'll make this a little bit smaller, I guess. Try to fit that line on one line. Something like that for medium. Oh, maybe it's spelled right. Yes, there we go. Now there's the line. So you can right click on that. Medium. There we go. I spelled it correctly. No wonder it wasn't finding its misspell. So that's the third part. Part 3, using InDesign. Hopefully that gets you a good start on this project. And I would like you to design kind of a background here for this one here, and you can do something like this one over here has a nice bokeh. This one over here could have some sort of designy stuff from Illustrator, and let's go from there. So let's get this project done. Thanks for watching.